Hades 2 has some incredible character designs, but they're not just there to create bisexual panic between you all. They actually hold some key lore dumps to better your understanding of the story. Avoiding spoilers here, but some characters need to be interacted with in order to progress key story related events. So our advice here, talk to absolutely everyone, even if it is just an excuse to look at the badass art. To tie in with the first point, Nectar is an item you'll be gifted throughout the game and is an easy way of growing your relationships with key characters. You'll need to start a keepsake collection as soon as you can to make sure you don't miss out on some powerful bonuses. So make sure at a bare minimum, you gift everybody you meet Nectar at least once. We cannot express just how important incantations are in Hades 2, and not just for the immediate benefits that you get. But without spoiling too much, certain incantations unlock completely new features, especially within early access, and should absolutely be a priority. Take our advice, even if you're not that arsed about what the incantations have to offer, unlock them as they will hugely benefit you for reasons we can't disclose later on in the game. The weapons on offer in Hades 2 completely change how you play the game, and the Witcher's Staff and Sister Blades are getting the majority of love right now, but you absolutely need to focus on unlocking the next two weapons on offer, as with the right boons, they are both versatile and offer a ton of damage. I'm trying my best to be good and to avoid spoilers, but I'll just say there are more than 4 weapons I've mentioned on offer in early access, so don't just rely too heavily on the first 2 starter weapons. And to tie in with that point about the weapons, terrain kills have been completely revamped for Hades 2 and can be extremely deadly when used correctly. Each area has unique structures that once hit enough times can create an area attack, offering a variety of attack options dependent on the structure. A perfect example of this is the use of trees. No, seriously. If you time your attack and position yourself behind a tree, you can launch an attack that will send the trees flying and cause serious damage to multiple enemies at the same time. Do not underestimate the use of your surroundings to get you out of a sticky situation. Hades 2 is an extremely fast-paced, action-focused game, but sometimes you will be required to farm resources in order to further build your arsenal, but it's not as boring as you may think. Hades 2 has revamped how you gather resources, making it much easier and more efficient than the first entry. In the early stages of the game, the pickaxe and shovel tools will be your best friends, as they will allow you to obtain multiple items that are crucial for creating incantations using the cauldron. The actual animation time of using these tools is reduced, meaning that you won't be wasting as much time gathering resources, and while it's not exactly the most exciting aspect of the game, it's definitely one of the most important, as the incantations you can create as a result of the resource gathering makes the game so much easier. To go hand in hand with this point, you'll need to channel your Stardew Valley powers, as tending to your garden is another vital feature required to gather resources for incantations. These new features will allow you to plant seeds at the crossroads, and once they're planted, the timer activates. The timer shows a number indicating how many rooms you need to go through before they're ready to harvest. During this initial feature announcement, it worried fans, as they made the assumption that seeing the number 9 above the flowers would mean that they would need to complete 9 whole runs before they were ready to harvest. But we can confirm that's not the case, and it's actually much easier. All you need to do is get through at least 9, or the number shown above the plant, rooms during a run to allow the plants to be harvested. The gardening feature is a great tool to obtain flowers that are vital to incantations, especially the rarer plants required for later incantations, so this is a much more efficient way of obtaining them instead of just hoping to find them during one of your runs. And a bonus point before the final tip, we found this one out completely by chance because, you know, we're gamers and have inquisitive minds, but it is actually possible to open the ward at the crossroads. When you enter Erebus, you'll spot that there's a different ward in the complete opposite direction leading to a staircase, which you would assume would not be accessible in the early access build, but it is. To continue the anti-spoiler train, I'm not going to tell you how to access it, but remember how I told you it's extremely important to talk to all characters, as they unlock not only key features but vital information to progress in the story. All I'm gonna say is take this advice and just keep an eye out for any incantations in the game that could offer any potential clues. And to round things off with the final tip, if you take anything from this video, it's that your number 1 priority should be getting the Death Defiance Arcana as soon as you can. Hades 2 is a brutal game, so you'll be heavily relying on Death Defiance as a backup, as it basically gives you an extra life, automatically giving you a second chance once your HP reaches 0. To obtain Death Defiance, you'll need to get the Eternity Arcana, which can be accessed once you've made your way through the Wayward Sun and Titan paths. With this knowledge, hopefully your playthrough won't be half as stressful as ours, and if you want a bit more of a deep dive into all of the new features within the early access of Hades 2, why not go check out this video.